The Sacramento Kings is a prime example of what happens to a team when you are impatient. The Kings are the most disappointing team in the NBA over the past couple of seasons. And I know they made the playoffs in the 2022-2023 season and lost to the Warriors in 7 games. But the decisions that they made before then and the decisions that they made after is the reason why this Kings team has only won 12 games this season. And their roster has no sense of direction for where they're going in the next couple of years. Now, I started to think about the Kings' downfall after the trade that occurred last night. The Kings traded Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder for DeAndre Hunter. And if you're a Kings fan and that trade moves you, then that just explains how terrible this team is. Now, a quick history lesson for everyone that didn't know. The Kings didn't make the playoffs for 16 consecutive seasons. That is the longest record in the NBA. Things started to look brighter for the Kings when they drafted De'Aaron Fox in the 2017 NBA draft. Now, everyone knows that De'Aaron Fox was killing in college. That was the guy that the Kings thought that they were going to build around for years to come, but that plan failed because of the front office of the Sacramento Kings. Now I'm going over this list here. I want to show everyone who they drafted after De'Aaron Fox until he got sent away. They drafted De'Aaron Fox in 2017. Zach Collins got sent to Portland, and they drafted Frank Mason in the 2nd round. I don't even know who Frank Mason is, to be honest with you. The next year, they drafted Marvin Bagley, 2nd overall in the NBA draft, and we all know how that goes. Marvin Bagley, although he's not a terrible NBA player, pretty solid rotation guy for terrible teams around the league, but Marvin Bagley at 2nd in the 2018 NBA draft. Let me just go remind you guys what was in the 2018 draft. They picked Marvin Bagley over Luka Doncic, Jaren Jackson, Trae Young, who's some other guys? Mikal Bridges, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Miles Bridges, Michael Porter Jr. Like, this was a loaded draft class, and you guys drafted one of the worst players in the draft. And once again, no disrespect to Marvin Bagley, solid guy off the bench in the NBA. But when you look at this star-studded draft and you look at all the names in it, even if we go to the 2nd round, who can we find? Guys like Mitchell Robinson, who plays well for the Knicks. Are there any other guys in here? Not that I really see. Oh, Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson at pick 33. And it's just a lot of guys that you would have rather drafted in the 2nd round. So that's a failed draft all the way around. You had generational talent after Marvin Bagley, and you selected him at number 2. So that was just one of the biggest mistakes the Kings ever made. Gary Trent Jr. got sent to Portland. The next year, they drafted guys who aren't even in the league, straight 2nd round picks. So we get to 2020, they draft Tyrese Haliburton. This was one of their best picks they ever made in this franchise, and they ended up trading Tyrese Haliburton. We all know he got sent to Indiana for Sabonis, really didn't get a chance to shine in Sacramento. And when you think about it, Tyrese Haliburton paired with De'Aaron Fox would have been very interesting because De'Aaron Fox could have easily played the 2. He's more of a combo guard type of guy. Tyrese would have been awesome at the 1. We've seen what Tyrese Haliburton could do. Last year, if he didn't get injured in Game 7, who knows? He could have won the NBA Finals last season. But, Sabonis, when we talk about Domantas Sabonis, he is a good regular season player, but he's not the ideal player in the playoffs. When teams have real game plans and are playing serious defense, Sabonis is not the same player that he is in the regular season. They know that he's not really a shooter. He's not a shot blocker. And running the offense around him in the playoffs is not ideal. That's not going to win you a 7-game series surrounding your offense around Sabonis. So that trade was just really bad looking at it now versus back then. Back then, it seemed like, okay, it's an even trade. Tyrese gets his opportunity in Indiana. Sabonis could come here and play with an all-star guard and De'Aaron Fox, and it didn't work like that. The next year, they drafted Davion Mitchell at pick number 9 and Keita in round 2. They didn't give Keita a chance. Now he's in Boston looking like a pretty good center, starting for them every game this season, and he's been holding it down. I believe Keita's averaging 10 points and around 8 rebounds a game. Very solid numbers. Davion Mitchell in Miami didn't really do much in Sacramento. Let me go to this 2021 NBA draft. I need to see. Okay, so here's the 2021 NBA draft. Davion Mitchell, you had Zaire Williams. This wasn't a good draft at all. You did have Sengun. You did have Trey Murphy. I thought Trey Murphy could have went higher that year. Trey Kai Jones, Jalen Johnson at number 20. A lot of people didn't want to pick him because of that situation that he had, but look how that worked out. All in all, this wasn't really a solid draft. They missed Franz Wagner by 1 pick. So unfortunate. But it was some guys that they still could have took. I know they went later in the draft, but that's what happens. You have to scout properly, and they didn't. They picked Davion Mitchell, and he did nothing. I don't even know why they picked Davion Mitchell, knowing that you had De'Aaron Fox there. Moving on to the next year, pick Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray instantly came in and played well for the Sacramento Kings. Now, Keegan Murray is not the type of player that is just changing a franchise instantly. He is a pretty solid role player. Keegan Murray did set the record in three-pointers made in his rookie season with 206. And they did make the playoffs that year. But after that, he had the sophomore slump season. And really, realistically, what you get from Keegan Murray is what you get now. Keegan Murray right now is averaging 14.6 points a game, 6 rebounds, 1.5 assists. He's shooting 27, and I repeat, 27% from the three this season. That is god-awful. I don't know what happened to his shot, but it's just not working. And to Keegan's defense, the roster in Sacramento right now is terrible. The spacing's terrible. I mean, the point guard situation, you do have Russ at point guard, but it's just not ideal for his play style. And Keegan Murray, I can't really make a true excuse for him shooting that bad. But the player that you get now for Keegan is the player that you get. I don't see Keegan really getting any better. I don't really see Keegan transforming his play style to become an all-star type player at all. And you have to live with that if you're a Sacramento Kings fan or if you're in the front office. They already paid Keegan Murray. And that's just something that the Sacramento Kings are going to have to think about in the later years. The next year, they drafted Omax. He went to Dallas. They drafted Walsh. He got sent to Boston. Walsh is looking like a pretty good player, especially being drafted in the second round. 2024, they got Devin Carter. Devin Carter isn't really looking like a good NBA player at the moment. And they got Jamal Shead, who got sent to Toronto. After that, that's when De'Aaron Fox got sent away. Now, I just want to remind you guys, De'Aaron Fox got traded on February 2nd, 2025. De'Aaron Fox got traded away for a 2025 first round, a 2027 first round, a 2031 first round. And I know that sounds good, doesn't it? You get some first round picks back, you can start to rebuild. But let me explain the first round picks that they got. They got a first round top 14 protected pick from Charlotte. So that turned into 2 second round picks in 2026 and 2027. Then their 2027 first round pick, they traded to Oklahoma City. I repeat, they traded to Oklahoma City so they could get Nick Clifford, who is not a standout rookie this season. Nick Clifford was a good player coming out of college, but to trade your 2027 pick for Nick Clifford, and he's doing what he's doing now. Matter of fact, let me go look up Nick Clifford. I want to have numbers for all of this stuff. Nick Clifford right now this season averaging 5.7 points, 3 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 39% from the field, and 30% from three. So that's what you gave your 2027 first round pick up for. And then also, you get the 2031 pick from the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, as long as Ant-Man's on that team, they're going to be competitors. So you're not going to get a high first round pick at all. So all in all, for De'Aaron Fox, an all-star who's still in his prime, can create his own offense, and you didn't get a blue chip young player, you didn't get a haul of first round picks, you didn't get anything that could help you in the future. So basically, you just sent away an all-star player for nothing, because that's what it's turning into. You got 2 second round picks, you got Nick Clifford, and a pick that's 5 years away and probably going to be a higher first round pick. That is a failure from the front office of the Sacramento Kings, and that is why they are in the position that they're in now, because the front office continues to make dumbass decisions that sets this franchise back 5 to 10 years every single time they do it. This franchise is so impatient. Mike Brown turned this team around, went to the playoffs. The next year, they were 46 and 36, and I know they lost in the play-in, but to run it back the next year, not add any more players for Mike Brown to work with. They really went in with the same roster that they had the years before. And then after that, you go 31 games in and say, you know what, Mike Brown, we're done. We appreciate your time here. And that's it. That will drive me fucking insane if I was a Sacramento Kings fan. The only coach that has been coaching here for the past decade, and he turns this team around. You have a winning record with this team 2 years in a row, and you let him go 31 games in the next season. De'Aaron Fox loved Mike Brown, and that is one of the reasons he wanted to leave after Mike Brown got fired. There was no reason to stay there anymore. My coach just got fired. The Kings had traded for DeMar DeRozan, trying to give Fox some help. That didn't work at all. DeRozan did not fit that scheme whatsoever. He couldn't space the floor the way De'Aaron Fox needed the floor space. He needed the ball in his hands, and it just wasn't working. So they ended up trading Fox to the Spurs. They didn't get anything back. And before I get into the current roster, I want to talk about what they sent off. So they sent off Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder. The Kings, the only franchise in the NBA to say, hey, guys, Let's sign Dennis Schroeder to a multi-year deal, even though nobody in the NBA is doing it. They give Dennis a 3-year, $44 million deal. And now, guess what? He's gone. They used the money that they could have gave Keon Ellis to sign Dennis Schroeder. How does that work? Now he's already off the team, and Keon Ellis is off the team as well. Now, Keon Ellis is a guy that I want to talk about as well. In Sacramento, I feel like Keon has been mistreated so much. There is no way that you have a guard who can handle the ball, play crazy defense, because Keon Ellis is one of the better defenders that I've seen in the NBA at the guard position at his age. And he shot 43% from the three last season. We can go look at this right now. Keon Ellis, last season, 8.3 points a game, 1.5 steals a game, almost a block a game. Keon shot 48% from the field and 43% from three on 4 attempts a night. Those are great numbers, and those are the numbers of a guy who should be on an NBA court getting consistent minutes a night. This season, Keon Ellis has only played 17 minutes a game for the Sacramento Kings. Now, it's different if he's playing 17 minutes a game on a contender, but he's playing 17 minutes on the fucking Kings, who were not winning games this season, and you don't have anybody to develop. All the players on the Kings are on their way out the league right now. All the guys that were former stars and stuff like that, they're on their way out. So why aren't you developing the young talent in Sacramento and instead playing Keon Ellis 17 minutes a night? It makes no sense to me, but I'm glad they freed him. Now, back to this roster. You have DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan is on his way out the NBA. DeMar is 36 years old, averaging 19 points a game, 3.2 rebounds, 3.9 assists on 50% from the field, 33% from three. DeMar DeRozan has never been a great outside shooter. He can't space the floor the way you want to. And DeMar has a play style where it was excellent in 2015, but it's not in 2025. He's not the guy that you want to build an offense around. He's 36 years old. His athleticism is pretty much gone. And you get what you get with him. They need to be looking to trade DeMar as well and just blow this up. You're not going to get much for him, but you need to get off of the money that you're going to be paying DeMar. DeMar right now is in the second year of his 3-year, $73 million deal. So next year, he'll be on an expiring contract, which will be attractive to some teams. He also could give you a little bit of production. So we will see what the Kings are able to do with this. But I do not have any high hopes for any decisions that the Kings are going to make. Russell Westbrook this year averaging 15, 6, and 6. Although he's been playing decent basketball, he's not the answer. Russ is on his way out the door, 37 years of age, and he's just pretty much taking up space on a Kings roster. I'm sorry to say it. I love Russell Westbrook, future Hall of Famer. It is what it is. And they signed Russ, and he ended up playing better than Dennis Schroeder, who they gave a 3-year, $44 million contract to. So I just don't understand the decision by the Kings. You could have signed Russ and not paid Dennis Schroeder at all and gave that money to Keon Ellis, but front office malpractice. Now, from seeing what Kings fans are saying about Zach LaVine, Zach doesn't give his all on defense every night. He doesn't do anything but score the basketball. And I don't know what you do with Zach at this point. Zach is on the second to last year on his deal, but he has a player option next year. So he's going to be making $48 million next year. I don't think any team in the NBA wants Zach LaVine's contract right now at the moment, especially with him getting that $47, damn near $48 million a year. He doesn't bring you anything to the table other than scoring the ball, and he's not even scoring the ball at a high rate. It'll be different if Zach LaVine was averaging 28, 29 points a game. He's averaging 19 points a game. He's getting older. He's 30. He's going on 31 this season. And it's just not a good contract in the NBA. Domantas Sabonis, one of the more disappointing players this season, has only played 18 games. He hasn't been healthy, averaging 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists a night. Like I said, Sabonis not really a good shooter, not a rim protector, not really valuable on defense, and he doesn't give you enough on offense. So I'm really not sure what the Kings do with Domantas Sabonis. And other than that, man, the Kings really don't have much on this roster at all. I mean, you got guys like Rayno. Rayno's been playing pretty well this season as a rookie center. You have Dylan Cardwell. I really like Dylan Cardwell. I like the energy that he brings. But those guys are not answers to this franchise. Nick Clifford is not an answer to this franchise, and I just don't really see a happy ending for the Kings. With the way this roster is constructed right now, with what they got for De'Aaron Fox, with them not really having tradable assets, I don't see how the Kings get better for the next 10 years, to be honest with you. The Kings are going to have to rely on a miracle pick. And by a miracle pick, I mean a real miracle pick. It's going to be a lot of tanking years going on. There's going to be a lot of frustration with this organization now because of the terrible decisions that they made, because of the inability of the franchise to put talent around Fox. The Kings gave up on players. They gave up on coaches. And this is the result of being impatient as a franchise, and the Kings will not be a good team in the NBA for years to come. And it's a sad story because after the 2022-23 season, I really thought that this team was going to be something special, and it ended up being the same sad story. So I just wanted to recap a little bit of how impatience really killed the Kings. It's your boy 100 Points. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this Sacramento Kings team and the direction that they're going. So God bless you all, and I'm out. Peace.